Okay, hi everyone. Let's start with the positioning of the two new signings that we need to talk about. See the position of words here. This is exactly where Liverpool will find line breaking passes to find words, where then he'll have the space to either dribble and get past a player or to find Salah, Gakpo, or Ekitike. This is really important to then have Zubimendi or Declan to track him and not give him space to run or find a pass. Okay, so now to the other signing, Ekitike. Now he is a player that's not a Gyökeres type striker, which means he won't make a lot of those in behind the defender runs, and he likes to get with the ball and play with the ball and connect with other teams and make runs in those mid spaces. A bit like Havertz, but a lot more open to shoot and a lot more skilled to open his body and have that shot on either side of the goalpost. Okay, so now let's talk about the possession play and the first phase possession play of Liverpool from the back. One thing Arteta should notice here and Arsenal should be preparing for is that Van Dijk will be very instrumental for their first phase possession play. He's finding those passes in the middle of the park, those line breaking passes to either Wirtz or Soboslai or even Gravenberch, which we will have to look out for and track these players on a 1v1 basis. Again, in this case, he's confident enough to loop a ball to Ekitike, and the striker is confident enough to chest it down and pass it to Salah. And this situation is exactly where we do not want to be on Sunday. One situation I found insightful was that because they've got all these new players, their cohesion in their press and in their structure is a bit down at this moment. Of course, it can improve, but the space that is obvious for the left back to endeavor in, and the pass is so open here that I do feel that it can be interesting in the game as well. Now this situation, Van Dijk passes it back to Alisson. Alisson moves it straight to Ekitike. And these are the exact situations where Gabriel will be called upon a lot of times, and according to me will win those duels a lot of times as well. Now, honestly, Ekitike is great with the ball and is decent physically, but against a centre back of the caliber of Gabriel, I do feel the defender will get the ball and win the ball 9 out of 10 times in these aerial duels at least. Okay, a major problem I've seen from Liverpool this season. I mean, it's been only 2 matches, but at the same time, there are patterns to be observed. Is that their left-sided defense is a bit weak, because we see here it's a 3v2, and you're not supposed to lose a 3v2 at least. But as we can see, nobody presses really on Semenyo, and it provides the space for the right back to move forward with the ball as Semenyo gives him the through pass. Now here's the important part that I want to discuss. As we already discussed, the lack of cohesion and structure in this team defensively as well as in the press, you can see that a player is completely free on the edge of the box. And I think if we're attacking in a structured manner, it will leave spaces, and it will leave large spaces due to this lack of structure and cohesion in the defensive unit of Liverpool and in the press unit of the Liverpool. Now set pieces, I think here's a sector of the game Arsenal can really benefit on Sunday, because if we look at the Liverpool team, there's only Konate and Van Dijk that are really strong aerially. Both the fullbacks are a bit short and a bit weak as compared to let's say Timber or Calafiori. That's why I think there should be two regions of the goalposts that Arsenal should attack. For example, let's have Gabriel and Saliba handling Konate and Van Dijk, and let's have Konate and Van Dijk take care of Gabriel and Saliba, where we're having a corner to attack, and let's put Timber, Calafiori, and Gyökeres on the other side of the goalpost, where we can easily dominate against a Kerkez or a Soboslai. That's where we can really attack in those set pieces. Now, there's no need for me to say watch out for Salah, but to understand his new role, he's completely taken up the role of just being the primary creator alongside Wirtz. But at the same time, in this team, I still see him as the main creator. As we can see in the two examples, he's even quicker now in his creations and in his creative passes and his lobs, as some would say. But he's doing it first time, or he's taking minimal touches to make those passes, so he's much quicker now.